Welcome to the Trap. This is Trapped in the Pit podcast presented by Life Coach Byron. Some were born in it, some fell into it, but very few decided to climb out. Today is the day that I give back to the struggling ones, the ones that's going through so many difficult situations in their life, whether they're incarcerated, whether they're free, or whether they're just going through the struggle of life. Today is Black and White Friday, and I have my black and white tennis shoes on, a different color on each feet. So I know there's so many different things that people are going through in life. If you've been watching the news or you just been checking out your social media feed, you see so many different people getting locked up in the county jails, locked up in prison. And it could be from assault, it could be from hate crime, it could be from murder. You have so many people that I mentor that is trying to get out of prison. And then you have so many that are committing crimes that want to go to prison. And that all comes from a mindset and a mindset shift. As long as you continue to put this alcohol and these substances in your system, it is going to alter your thought process on the way that you see things. It's going to make you angry about certain situations. And I want to touch on the topic on the three young ladies that was locked up for the assault on the young lady at the Whiskey J's bar. I want to believe in Longview, Texas. I don't know exactly what happened, but it was said, they got into it, had words or whatnot, and they assaulted and beat the girl up pretty bad. And I know that they was locked up in the county, and I don't know what their charges are. I want to say that it is assault, and I know they were saying like free Carmelo, and I don't know how true that is, but the one thing I want to point out is excuse me, the one thing I want to point out is whether they were saying free Carmelo or not, it doesn't give anyone the right to assault or beat anyone up. And I'm not saying that either group or parties was right or wrong. The thing that I'm saying is the mindset. The mindset has to shift. Like, if you can't drink, you have no business going to a bar. We can all holler free Carmelo, but if you go and get incarcerated trying to get your point across about assaulting someone saying free Carmelo, Carmelo is going to be free, and you're going to end up doing prison time, because whether these young ladies get off or not, their whole life will be altered because of this situation. The young lady that got beat up, her life will be altered just because she was jumped by black women, and now she may look at black people in a different perspective. But the one thing I want to show you is alcohol will bring the real you out. It will bring that anger out. It will make you do things that if you were normally sober, you would not do. So for everyone out there, for the young sisters, for the young brothers out there, think about what you do before you do it. And we also had a situation in Marshall, Texas, where an altercation or something happened at the Whataburger, and now it's like 2 or 3 young males that's incarcerated on a murder. These are 6 individuals that are now locked behind the bars, behind closed doors, and their future lies in the hand maybe of a jury, or maybe it lies in the hands of a judge. So now you got to go spend countless money. You got to go to your family members. You got to get money. You got to try to get a paid for a lawyer. And if you ain't got to pay for a lawyer, they're going to throw you the worst criminal defense attorney, as we call them, the public defender, a court appointed lawyer to try to defend you on a murder charge. So what I want to tell all you young brothers, all you young sisters, the old heads, young heads, it doesn't matter. Think before you react. If you riding around with guns, the first time you get into it with somebody, you're going to pull that gun and you're going to shoot somebody. You got to be able to think. You got to be able to react. You got to be able to not get emotional in behind a situation. You got to have somebody in your crew, in your clique, who has a level head to say like, nah, man, this ain't worth it. Let's walk away. Let's go, Do not think that you are not real because you walk away from this situation. Just look at these 6 individuals. Because they were so real, now they are locked in behind bars. They don't get to enjoy their family. They don't get to enjoy their friends, their loved ones, or if they had kids. This is the 4th of July weekend. Now you got to sit inside a county jail and eat slop, where you could have been out here eating T-bone steaks and enjoying your family. Something that I did over the weekend, I went to Dallas and I just rolled up there and just, I had a business meeting and I just sat back and I just, enjoyed my family. I got to kick it with cousins and little cousins and some of the cousins that I ain't met. And, I got to meet my little cousin Denver and, she putting out a little video rapping. Her, the little cousin Dallas. I know Dallas and he buck wild. He about 6, 7 years old, They had a rap video, just putting a rap video, and I just sit there and I just listen to that video over and over and over. And they kept playing it to me. Then they was rapping to it live, And I just sat back and enjoyed my cousin them, laughed, sat back, kicked it, talked about old time, talked about my parents, they parents, and and it's just all about giving back, And for you to be able to get the blessings and the blessings that you're looking for in life, you got to start to think about more than yourself. You got to start giving back. That's why I always give back. And I'm starting to give back to my family and show my family how much I appreciate them, how much I love them. Because for a long, long time, I held a lot of bitterness for the people that wasn't down for me when I was incarcerated. But the one thing you have to realize in life, when we get in these situations, you have no one to blame but yourself. And I had to sit back and I had to look in the mirror and realize, like, Byron, you got yourself incarcerated. You was drinking, you was driving, you was doing all the buck wild things that led up to your incarceration. So I had to realize that nobody owes me anything. The bills don't stop. People's life don't stop out here just because you're incarcerated. You think a person is going to stop their life and just hook up the phone and do all the things that you feel like they supposed to do, when you could have stayed out here and you could have did whatever it is you choose to do. But the one reason that I mentor and I give back, because I know that there are a lot of people that needs their mindset change. And since I started my business and since I started working for myself and I walked away from my job and I started Heirs Institute, I've been in touch with so many different organizations, so many different business owners, so many entrepreneurs, and just getting, hooking up with nonprofits and getting partnerships and doing different things. And, and it just let me know that God is good. God is great. God will open up doors that you can't see. The one thing you have to realize when you start leveling up, where you are about to go, everybody can't go with you. And I understand why God remove the desires from my life that held me stuck in a negative mindset for a long, long time. And I understand that where I am about to go, there are certain people that just can't go with me, that, they're not leveling up. They're stuck in a certain spot in their life where they don't want to grow. And it's nothing against them. It's just that I outgrew them, and I outgrew the negative mindset that I had. But just going back and, and enjoying my family in different things, and being able to laugh, and, being able to talk about when I was a kid, and just thinking about the times, when they would say, like, Byron, you would even sit here for 5 minutes because, you would be out there, or you would be going to visit your lady friends, or you just be out there doing what you do, and different things. And for me to just get up there and get to Dallas and just park and to just enjoy my family, spend the night with them, and to just let them know, and for them to tell me how much they appreciate me, and for them to tell me how grateful and how happy they are that I changed my life, and to just say that I'm making a difference for them. I'm making a difference for people in my family. And the one thing that I did want to share is, start giving back to others, start giving back to your family, start giving back to your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins. Get out of that bitterness, being stuck and thinking it's all about you. God is never going to open up them doors if it's all about you. God do not like takers. He like givers, and reach back and give back to someone that you love, and that's what you have to do. Because, when that casket opened, or when you get that phone call and say this person died or that person died, it's too late to say that you love them. Why try to give them their flowers when they're in the casket, when you can give them their flowers now and tell them how much they are appreciated and loved? Get out of that bitterness, get out of that guilt, get out of that saying that everything is about you. And I know there are a lot of people that do a lot of family events and come together and different stuff. But when is the last time that you just reach back and really pull somebody to the side and said, man, look, I see the road that you're going down, or just ask this person, though, what are you going through in life, man? Why you drink like that, man? I just want to know, man, what you going through. And, for all the ones out there, I don't never pull nobody up, because, whatever you do in your life, that's your life. You choose to live. You can live your life however you want to live your life. But, to all the ones that I know, to all the ones that I ain't met yet, and for all the ones that's going through so much in life, are you okay? How is your mental, Why you drinking the way you drink? Why you acting a fool the way you act a fool? What you going through? Get on your knees. Pray to God. Give me a call. Tell me what you're going through, and I could tell you what I'm going through, because guess what? Everything ain't peaches and cream over here. I'm just like anybody else. I got my own struggles in life. The only difference between me and you is I don't mind get on my knees and praying to God and giving all my cares and my worries to God. I'm living the best life that I could possibly live. When I was drinking, driving, selling drugs, partying, chasing women, I was a very, very miserable person. But now I am the happiest I done ever been in life. I'm in contact with people who have became my friends through partnership, people who have became my friends through conversation through nonprofit organization. I have friends in Europe. I have friends I can contact in London, friends in Africa, friends in Washington, California, New York, Florida. I am in contact with so many different people, and they make a difference. They pour into me. They tell me to keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing, keep giving back, keep mentoring, keep coaching, keep helping people change their mindset. I want to tell anyone out there that's struggling right now, that's in the pit, whatever it is you want to do in life, you can do it. You just have to put your mind to it. You got to sacrifice some things. You got to let some things go. Just like you go put them 12, 13 hours in on a job, you can sit back and you can work on yourself for 30 minutes out of a day. And the compact effect will go into effect. If you work on yourself 30 minutes a day, then you're working on yourself right at about 3.5 to 4 hours a week. So if you put in an hour a day, that's 7 hours for you to read a book, to look at a course, listen to a sermon, a motivational speak, or pick up the phone and talk to somebody who can pour into you instead of always being that, going to that toxic job and listening to those toxic conversations. They're meaningless and they're wasteful. You can go into the store and you can invest into somebody else's company, whether it's shoes, whether it's pants, a shirt, or hat, but you can't invest into yourself. Invest into yourself. I invest into myself 24 hours a day. And all I want to do is grow 1%. If I grow 1% a day, I do a 360-degree dunk on life. And that's all I'm asking you, to trust and believe in God, small as a mustard seed. And you definitely can change your life. I truly believe that you can do anything that you want to do in life. So all you have to do is dig down, dig deep, and start finding out who you are and who you want to be. Figure out what you want your life to look like. Do you want to work for someone and continue to build another person's legacy? Or do you want to build a legacy for you and your children and your family so you can break these generational curses? I'm not going to hold you long today, as I did actually hold you a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I want to tell you to be good, to be great, be safe. And if you're partying, you're enjoying your family, get them keys to someone reliable. Do not get behind the wheel of that car this weekend. Do not do anything foolish. So I am praying for your traveling grace or anything that you're going through in life. So whatever you do today, be good, be great. And this is Life Coach Byron. And this is Trapped in the Pit podcast.